it's a big pleasure to be here with you. I will introduce this presentation. The sensory experiences and the expansion of senses are a primordial condition of the human consciousness. And the electronic music events have the power to create fertile scenarios from this experience, not only through music, but also with live visual performances. With the pandemic, many things have changed, and the screen, in addition to being an interface, can also serve as catalyst for emotions. We usually talk about physical events or virtual events, which in fact have actually existed for several years. A decade ago, even more, platforms such Second Life introduced the concept of virtual events, and today we have virtual raves and live concerts, not just in Second Life or similar platforms, but also in environments originally designed for gaming.
Can I say to João, can you please turn your microphone off? Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, John. But it seems that real life and virtual reality no longer stand in separate planes. We are living a deconstruction of boundaries between both worlds, and for some festivals, simply migrate to the digital world is not an option, yet at least, especially because those events made sense above all by the human experience. When real life is not entirely possible and virtual reality is to nerd saying, here enters the mixed reality and the extended reality. So I finish with a question. With the use of these techniques, mixed reality and extended reality, it is possible to combine the best of both worlds and provide this multi-sensory experience, combining different levels of reality mediated by a screen, as Stephanie said, using the screen like a portal. I will now hand the floor over to my partner, João, who is a visual artist and also an academic, who explored these techniques and aesthetics based on his experience. And he'll show us some examples of this symbiosis, I think you can call it that, between these two worlds and this most practical application in electronic dance music events and festivals. Go ahead, João.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Emília. I hope everyone can hear me okay. Good. Thank you so much. I will expand on your question, Emília. I briefly present myself. João Beira. I'm a lover of electronic music, just like all of you. Somehow, I guess I was not very good at making music, so I ended up working with visualizations. And I've been creating a whole portfolio in the last 2 decades, working with multiple musicians and events, exploring this thing that I love in electronic music, which is to be fully immersed in this environment with other people, enjoying music, enjoying being taken into a whole different journey, into a whole different layer and experience. And in academia, we've been calling these layers that we start in the physical, the real world, and we're taking it to kind of a digital environment. We call this journey, this virtual continuum, as it's been labeled, mixed reality. What I'm going to try to do here, and I know I only have a little bit of time, but I'm going to try to explain to the audience and to you guys, how can we design environments that we initially designed primarily for the physical world, but with COVID, as we entering this new digital era, how we designers and visual artists are looking at these architectural elements and how we looking to the opportunities. So I'll be communicating with you mostly as a designer and how I'm approaching from a practical level and experience, sharing some of the knowledge I've been getting and collecting with these environments, how to design for them. So very briefly, I run a group, it's called Academy of Visuals. We work like a music act, but we're visual artists. So the same idea, it's a collaboration between multiple artists. We all have different roles, programming. We have the opportunity, mostly in the United States, to do live visuals, which is we perform live and with the audience truly embrace it as a cinematic experience, which really helps. And we're primarily focusing what it's called generative media, which is it's designed in real time. As all of you probably love in electronic music, we highly focus in something that is why are we here at this moment in time and space enjoying this improvisation. So very quickly, I'm just going to briefly show you guys. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's I'm not just a second. I hope the video can play. Okay, I believe I don't have sound for some reason, but it's okay. I can talk while I'm talking. Basically, we work with a musician, for example, that does live scratch, and we enjoy these opportunities to be there using the sound, the frequencies, and adjust, take the audience into a journey, a visual journey with the music in real time. We also do that with okay, let me just a second. Let me briefly take you to the other slide. We also do that with a live performance. We bring performance into the stage, and we take the opportunity to perform with them, expand on what they're doing again in real time. So this has been going on for a while. This is nothing new. What's happening the last years in terms of this space is we started to work with something that is called AR, augmented reality. And we start to integrate the performer, not just with the stage, but also creating kind of a integration with the digital to make it all become one. This is what's called usually using projection mapping in the physical world, spatial augmented reality. And it usually creates kind of this holographic illusion. And we use it, again, in real time to bring performers and bring music and allow the performance to control these live visualizations in real time, also combine them in the physical space. So as you guys can see here, we are totally in one stage. You can see the audience member, and it's designed to merge these both realities in one environment. So this is something we've been doing. Oh, I'm having a hard time to, once I go into the video, but it's okay. We can do this quickly. Basically, what I'm trying to get here is when we do these things also for stages, for example, and we design the stage, we combine this layer of the original content that is from the stage design. This one was with Carrie Thompson in San Francisco. And then we make custom contents to, again, you can see the performers, is Jade Cicada inside, and we're combining these live visualizations within. So I'm sorry, guys. I'm having a hard time with every time I go inside of a video, I have to come out of the video. So this one I'm going to leave a little bit more, and this one is very important because it shows this one event we did that we kind of try a little bit something more ambitious, which is everyone in the audience is completely in the dark, and suddenly without everyone knowing, we're actually projecting on the ceiling of this massive tent. And we actually, for the first time, we were able to kind of trick the audience. And if you can hear the sound, I can send the video later on the chat. You guys can hear the sound. People start screaming because they're completely immersed in this environment, and the ceiling of the environment is completely taken by digital imagery, and they were taken into this portal, kind of like a dome performance experience. For an hour, and this one is one of the most successful experiences we did, and it has to do again with this key term I used in the beginning, which is immersion. So in this performance, we're able to completely take the audience and take them into this massive umbrella, and basically taking it to the next level, which is projection mapping, which is a little bit more expected, but this was an opportunity to actually take them a little bit further. And this is a picture from the little bit from the back, and it shows you the scale of something like this. So this is something we've been doing a lot, projection mapping. This is pre-COVID for sure. Something along we like to do also in the topic of AR, and also going into non-conventional surface. We do projection mapping installations at events, and we try to bring the cinematic experience mostly as an installation kind of performance in a way, even though it's all digital. But these landscapes and allowing people to go beyond what you traditionally see in nature and bring these digital landscapes, again, creating a truly hybrid experience that people can contemplate for a while. And the COVID happened, and Stephanie and many of you presented also yesterday topics that changed dramatically. In our field, working with digital imagery, working with visualizations, something changed dramatically, as you all know. Suddenly, we're no longer just working for the camera, for the human eye, as we were before. Now we're actually working for the lens camera, the camera lens. So what does this mean? This allows us to do something, for example, this was in Lollapalooza, that we can combine the physical elements of the perfect camera, of the perfect place, with the digital illusion. So this was a simulation that we can generate for the camera eye, but not for the human eye. This is a great example, and I'm going to expand a little bit on that based on a few projects we did recently. I believe we have something like 5 minutes. I'll try to be short. This was just a project we did for Boom Festival, which is a big event located in Portugal, our hometown, our home country. And basically, the Boom invited us to do an event, and they had a challenge. They want to bring the artists. They want to bring the physical element of the land, of the experience in Boomland, which for those who've been there probably can relate to, which is a very special place. So Boom, they cannot make the event a physical event, unfortunately, this year. So they decided to do a live stream production. And they invite us to do the visual direction. They invite us to do this kind of extended reality of the experience. So that's what I'm going to briefly try to report to you guys. Basically, we did the conventional projection mapping, as I presented a little bit before to you guys, which is to combine this digital with the physical, creating all one. But the main difference here is we're doing this physically there with the musician, with the performers, with the local production, the few of us who can be there. But we're designing and recreating this experience for the audience at home, at their screen, or at their phones, or. So this creates kind of a new ecosystem for us as well as visual artists. And I'm going to briefly show you a video of the beginning of one of the sets. We end up doing 5 sets. This is one of the sets. This is like the first minute. And I'm going to show you how an opportunity this is to combine what we traditionally do with the projection mapping, but now combining live cameras and creating a new second layer that we can compose on. I wish you guys can listen to the music. There is no audio, but it's okay. It also gives me an opportunity to speak as I show it. So as you guys can see, this is clearly impossible to do for the human eye. So this is one of the main opportunities we have now. As you can see, there is a live performer on stage. We just changed the camera, and we still have the 3D element running in real time into our physical world. But the output, it's a true merge in real time of this element that is the 3D element with a live capture RGB from the camera. And this is by doing a true composite, or both digital and physical, combining the pixel from the RGB with the 3D environment that we have to put all this geometry that the camera see into 3D. And then we can go into live moving cameras, and we can start to move along. And we can start to bring the best of video mapping with the best of post special effects all in real time. So I'm going to jump a little further to a few more examples. By the way, the musicians here, they're called Yes Tomorrow. They're a Portuguese music act, trance act. And I'm going to briefly show another example. An interesting section that we're combining the projection mapping that we're doing there for the physical eye that we can see there, but we're adding there a new layer that it cannot be designed for the human eye. As you can see, this layer that goes on top of the structure, it's again a new layer that is created primarily in digital. So I'm getting close to my conclusion. bear with me just a few more seconds, and I apologize for these technical elements. This is the last one I want to present with I wish there was music, but again, combining the projection mapping with the digital, in this case, the fluid elements. Again, this is something for us visual artists, I think we all dream about, and we finally can do it now. Even though I recognize a lot of the problems in terms of the truly enjoying the experience from a screen, which there is so many problems. But as a creator, I'm also presenting and arguing that give us a whole new ecosystem of light that we can explore new frontiers. We can really go and play with the illusions that go beyond we can do for the human eye. And I'm going to give one of the main conclusions I got from this experience that is that I learned from doing this project. The best time to do something like this, it's actually the daytime, especially what it's called the golden hour, when when day goes into the night or the night goes into the day, and we get to combine daylight with digital illusions. So if any of you goes into, or decides to go something along these lines, I highly recommend everyone to truly explore this idea that already exists in photography, that something about that qualities in light, when there's not a lot of light and it's not completely dark. I really think that's where the full illusion, full creativity can explore. And I'm going to wrap it up. I believe our time is done. This is our context. Thank you so much, Emília. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
Thank you, João and Emília. That's a very fascinating subject, and even without the music. And while we're waiting for some questions, you mentioned Boom there, and Boom is close to my heart. I've been to, I think, every Boom except one since 2006, except for, of course, the last couple of years. But what will happen if and when things return? So we're back at the dance temple. What will the DJ look like? What will the main stage look like? Yeah, will the DJ return in full force, center stage? What's it going to look like?
Emília?
I don't know if I have this answer. Actually, I think that these big, massive events like Boom Festival, I think they are maybe trying to explore new forms of keeping the festival, because it's a big festival with 40,000 people, even more from 100 countries for over the world. And I'm not sure if they will be able to repeat this. I hope so. I really hope so, but I'm not sure of it. And but I think that we are also seeing all these wonderful new techniques and mixed realities, hybrid realities. Maybe we are becoming hybrids. I don't know. I hope not, but what do you think, João?
I think it's a fascinating question, Graham, and I think what the DJ does and what the VJ visual, what the light designers do, it's migrating primarily to the digital world. So I think if what I see, and I hope I'm wrong, but I suspect that a lot of us will be performing much more from our home office studio environments, something that I believe Underground Sound of London was doing back in 2000, something like that, already performing from the local studio. He was arguing at the time, he was sacrificing like a lamb, sacrificing that social in order to fully focus in the art form. So I can see it going both ways, but any study in performance will argue that the social, the anthropological qualities of the social experience, it's probably the most important thing in the performance. And for me, that already perform in live streams and stuff like that, not feeling the audience completely shuts me off from a lot of these elements. That's why I liked about this Boom experience. That's why I presented, because they brought us there. We were fully immersed with the musicians inland, We just didn't have the physical audience. So there's one layer missing, but we still had the physical and the frequencies from the music, and that completely put me immersed in the experience, even though without the audience. So I see qualities in both ways, but I guess I'm old school. I need people. I need to feel reactions. I need to react in order to react as well.
Yes. Well, I suppose that Boom is a fabulous example. I mean, it really is a gravitational field, and the dance temple itself. So I imagine that's going to be quite a poignant moment when the return is to the dance temple, and there will be a lot of eyes on how the stages at the DJ performs, and how the DJ is structured as a central feature.
Correct. And by the way, Greg, let me just add in Boom in particular. One thing they intentionally do is actually remove this preconceived idea that the DJ is kind of the focus. They truly, one thing they creatively been pushing is actually opening that dialogue, opening up to the audience, to the art, to the visual art, which is an interesting discussion, a broader topic, but just to put it out there, that's something they've been very, very strongly pursuing.
Yes, I think that idea that we had for a long time, even for us who are working and studying all this stuff, the DJ was having also as a kind of central element, and now I think the visuals have a different kind of presence, and they are now in the same level of centrality in all the process in the dance floor. I think the DJ is not the only deity in the dance floor, I think, anymore.
Yes.
You can kill me, all the DJs here.
Well, I think you'll have a lot of support also.